Hi everybody, welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk about my cross stitch. So welcome. Today is Flosstube episode number 16 and today's date is July 29th, 2024. Can you believe it's the end of July? I feel like I blinked and it was gone. Anyway, I mean, it's been a great month, so I'm certainly not complaining for sure. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been about 3 weeks since I filmed a regular Flosstube update. However, I have recently posted a video. Last week I did a collaboration with my friend Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. on Flosstube and on Instagram. She is a good friend of mine. We don't live close to each other. She lives in Alabama. I live in Ohio. But we love to stitch a lot of the same things. And so we make it a priority once a month to meet virtually and film a video where we can sit and chat with all of you about the things we're stitching and show you the things we're stitching together and encourage you to stitch with us because we love that. So, you can catch that video on both of our channels. We post it to both of our channels, so you can watch it here on my channel or you can watch it over on Sarah's channel. And so, yeah, that was the last video I posted, but prior to that, it's been about 3 weeks. So I'm ready to get back into it. I've got some things to show you. One of the reasons I was gone for so long is because my husband and I took our vacation. This summer we went to Yellowstone and we went to the Grand Teton National Park, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It was fantastic. It was a part of the country that neither of us have ever been to before, so it was really cool to experience that and to see all of like the geothermal attractions, the geysers, the hot springs, getting to hike up the mountain, getting to whitewater raft down the Snake River. It was a really cool trip. So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed having that opportunity to, go see a place we've never been to before, try some new things, and, just have that time to reset and to spend with my husband before we get back to the craziness of the school year. My husband's a teacher too. So our summers are very important to us. That's our time to just kind of regroup, relax, and refresh. But now I'm starting to, get back in the swing of things. I'm going to start getting back into a schedule. Over the summer, I get into a bad schedule where I stay up really late and I sleep in. I need to start going to bed earlier so that I can get up early and be ready to go to school. So all the things. So yeah, that's what I've been up to lately. But I have been stitching too. So I have some awesome things to show you. Before I get into that, I wanted to say a big thank you. And let me show you what I'm thankful for. So this right here is just a small example of some of the generous donations that some of you have sent for my classroom library. I am a 4th grade teacher and I teach reading and math. And in my opinion, the most important part of my classroom is my classroom library. It's very important to me to have a wide range of high interest books for my students to have access to every single day. And so that's just not something that I would be able to do on my own. And so I truly appreciate everyone who has donated to my classroom. I do have an Amazon classroom wish list. It's on the link tree on my Instagram. I could also post a link to it down below. But I have been very fortunate to receive lots of wonderful donations from a lot of you. And I'm really excited to put them into my classroom library and let the kids, read them and get excited about reading. I do recognize that I am very fortunate to have that wider exposure as a floss tuber. And so I do recognize that my classroom library is very well stocked and I do try to share the love at my school. I don't just allow my students in my classroom to check out books. I allow students from other classrooms and other grades to come and check out my books too. because, what's the point of having a lot of great books in your classroom library if they're not being read? So I will often have a lot of times the 5th grade students who I taught last year, they will come back to my class and be like, can I still borrow from your library? I'm like, yes, please borrow from my library. And so it's just really awesome to see kids getting excited about reading. I'm passionate about reading. I have a master's in literacy education, and it just, it means the world to me to have books that my students can check out. We do have a school library, and they get to go there once a week, and that's usually when they go. Sometimes that varies, if there's an event going on, or if we have a day off of school, or if the librarian's sick, they won't get to go to library that week, and it'll be like 2 weeks before they can go. So being able to have that daily access for my students to books that they are excited about means a lot to me. So I just wanted to publicly say thank you to all of you. I did try to reach out to everybody that I could find on social media to say a personal thank you. Some people are a little harder to find because a lot of times our social, like on Instagram, your handle might not be your actual name. Like my handle is Stitchy Sarah Reads. So if you look me up on my name, you might not be able to find me. So if you've sent me books and you haven't heard from me personally, it's just because I couldn't find you. And I would love for you to send me a message and be like, hey, I sent you some books, so I can say thank you. But I just wanted to put that out there and say thank you. And, if you have a teacher in your life, ask them if you're in a position to help, I should say, ask them if they have a wish list. And even if you're not in a position to purchase something off of that wish list, you could share it to your social media and other people if they're in a position they could help. So just my little thank you and my little public service announcement. So I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to put these over here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with some finishes. In fact, they are all 3 of them FFOs, which means fully finished objects. It means I finished the stitching and I fully finished them so I could display them in my home. I'm going to start with the strawberry pincushion from Whilst Iris Naps. I got this as a PDF download off of her website. And let me bring it in a little bit. So it's this little mattress finish. You can see it's got a top, it's got the sides and the bottom. So you stitch it in 3 pieces. So I stitched the top piece. I stitched the bottom with my initials and the year. And then the side is one long continuous strip. And then you just sew them, you hand sew them all together to create this little mattress finish. This was my first time doing a finish like this. It's not perfect, but I think it's pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of it. I did do a Roxy floss conversion for the colors, so I brightened them up a little bit. I did post a picture of my stitching, and I posted a picture of the Roxy floss colors that I used on my Instagram if you're curious about those colors. And you might notice these adorable little strawberry pins in my pillow. So my friend Sarah from Handmade by Sarah W. stitched this with me as well. And then she made us these adorable strawberry pins to go in our strawberry pin cushion. Isn't that so cute? I just love them so much. So thank you, Sarah. And yeah, that's my fully finished, my first FFO. All right, I'm gonna set that up here. Okay, next I have, this is Anne Richardson by My Sister's Samplers. This was the pattern that Carrie from Tiger Lily Designs chose for her birthday sal this year. So Sarah and I stitched it together, and we both finished ours recently, and we showed our finishes on our video. But since the video, I have fully finished mine in this frame. This is just a basic wooden frame that I got from Amazon. It was actually an unfinished frame, just a natural wood frame. So I stained it this darker color, and I pinned the stitching onto a foam board, popped it in, and here you go. I've got a finish. I stitched this on 40 count Shiloh by Needle and Flax, using all of the called for Vicky Clayton's silk colors. And I think it turned out fantastic. I did replace, it was supposed to say Ann Richardson, age 9 years at the bottom. I replaced it with my last name and the year, and I think it's fantastic. I love it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the details of this one. I apologize. I did tell you about the floss, but I did not tell you that the fabric I used was 40 count Cypress by Fiber on a Whim. So stitching it on 40 count made it turn out pretty small, but I think it's adorable. I think the called for was like a 32, maybe a 32 count. I could be wrong. I could be making that up. Anyway, I have one more fully finished object, and this is Grimm's Haunt by Plum Street Samplers. I believe I started this in 2022. I got it in a box, a Halloween box from Kitten Stitcher, and then I think it was released to the general public last fall. And so this is a pattern you can get your hands on. It is adorable. I loved it. And this is one of my finishes for my 24 and 24 finish goal that I set for myself this year. So at the beginning of the new year, I decided, you know, I have a lot of whips that I started prior to 2024, and I would really like to get some of those finished. And so my goal was to finish and fully finish 24 whips that were started prior to 2024. So that basically means that I need to do 2 a month. And so this is my first one for the month. I have another one that I'm working on that I'll show you. But so this is my 13th finish for my 24 and 24 finishes goal. I've finished 23 things this year, but as far as things that I started prior to 2024, this is the 13th finish that I have. And it turned out so cute. I stitched this on 40 count Latte by Fiber on a Whim, using all the called for colors. So now, one thing I will suggest, and this is up to you, but as you can see, there's a lot going on here. All of this took me a long time to stitch. I mean, so did the barn because it's solid, but at least, like, you know, it's kind of, you know, fill in. Whereas all this, there's a lot of starting and stopping, and I was like, whew, this took me a long time. One thing that I really did not like, this is just a personal thing, and I think it's also because I'm stitching on 40 count, is these little tiny pumpkins have little tiny faces stitched on them, and the eyes and the stitches around the eyes are over one. I don't like stitching over one on 40 count. So if I had it to do again, I would have left the faces off of the little pumpkins. That's the only thing I would change. I think it's adorable, though. I think this whole thing is stinking cute. I can't wait to put it out for my fall decorations. So I'll be seeing this again soon. Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. So those were my FFOs. I do have 2 new starts since I saw you last. So I'm going to go ahead and show those to you. My first new start was the next one in the Folk series by Hands On Design. This is Summer Folk. If you recall, I did stitch Spring Folk. In fact, I hosted a stitch along for this. This was Spring Folk. And you can see that it is displayed on this beautiful wooden paddle. The wooden paddle comes from Chantel's 141 Design Company. It was designed for this series. And you can just switch them out using magnets. And so my goal is to have all 4 of the seasons stitched up, and that way I can display it seasonally. So I am currently stitching summer. I do already have the fall one stitched, and it is out now, so if you can go buy it. but I do already have fall stitched because this was the pattern we got last year for Chantel's 141 Pep Rally Retreat. So I have this one done already. I'm really excited about that, but hopefully a lot of you will stitch this as well so you can display it, because I know a lot of people stitched spring and summer. So now I'm working on summer. Here's the picture again. I am loving the color palette. There's lots of like purples and greens in this. It's all, the whole series is stitched on the same fabric. They're all stitched on 32 count driftwood by Fabrics by Stephanie. You know, that's the called for, but you could always choose whatever you like. And I'm stitching mine on the driftwood, and here's what it looks like. Not a big start. I really need to get back to this because I would like to be able to display this when it's still summer. So my goal is to get some more stitches in on this week. So that's my start. There is some back stitching, and there are some specialty stitches in this. As with all of the folk designs, there are specialty stitches in all of them. Like this one has some here and here and up here. And the really cool thing is that Kathy from Hands On Design, she has charted the specialty stitches to work on linen and on Aida. So no worries, if you don't want to stitch on linen and you're stitching on Aida, you can still do the specialty stitches. So, and her diagrams are very good, and she also has a video out to show you how to do the specialty stitches. All of the specialty stitches are done with this number 12 pearl cotton in the color 642. And if you just get like a ball of it here, that's plenty for all 4 seasons. So it's nice that she does that consistently for all 4, so you don't have to buy a different color each time. My preference is I always go through and do all of the cross stitching first, then I go through and do all of the back stitching, and then I do the specialty stitches last. That's just how I like to do it. My friend Sarah does it as she goes along. So like each of these, so this is like a long sampler, and it's like it goes in bands, like band A, B, C, D, and so she stitches the whole band entirely before she moves on to a new one. So that's how I do mine, but I think that's so cute. I cannot wait for the winter one. I think that one looks so pretty. All right. And oh, and I forgot to mention, it is charted all in DMC floss, so it's very easy to kit up and stitch, and those colors are just phenomenal. And I'm keeping mine in this beautiful bee bag from Paint to Leave Company. That's my mom, if you're new here. Her name's Kathy, and Paint to Leave Company is her company on Etsy, and she sells beautiful handmade project bags. And there's the inside. Cute. I love it. Okay. I'll move a couple things out of the way here. All right. My second new start is a stitch along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it is a mystery stitch along. So you get the parts as separate clues. So here's kind of like a blurry picture of the stitch along. It's called Witchy Way, and you can kind of see it's like a street of different like storefronts, like witchy Halloween themed like storefronts and businesses. And so it's called Witchy Way. The first clue came out on July 17th, and so that's what I'm stitching. I don't have a picture of it to show you. All I have is the pattern. I can't show you the pattern, but the design starts in the center, and the very first building on Witchy Way is the Bat Tavern. And here's my start. Here's my start of the Bat Tavern. I've already got a bat right here. So this is the roof of the tavern. There's like a spooky black tree back here. There's going to be a cloud over here, and then it comes down, and there's like a little black cat down here. It's super cute. I was sent the kit by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. The kit comes with your fabric, and you do have a choice of 14 count Aida, 16 count Aida, or 32 count even weave. And this is a gray Zweigart fabric. It's very beautiful. And you also receive all of the called for DMC flosses in your kit. And they come on these awesome cards. And first of all, that's just beautiful right there. Look at all those colors. And then every time I pull off colors to use, I just hang the remaining ones on that little hole there next to the color itself. I just think that's such a fun way to organize your flosses, and I think the floss colors are beautiful. And of course, the kit also comes with a needle. I didn't even need to have a needle for that. And you get the instructions in your kit, and then the PDF clues are emailed to you monthly. And so I'm guessing since there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buildings, that this is a 5 clue stitch along. So I'm hoping to get clue number 1 finished before the second clue comes out. It's pretty quick stitching. It's like, there's like solid stitching. It's not a lot of confetti, which I appreciate. I am stitching this 2 over 2 on the 32 count, and I think it's so cute. Oh, and I forgot to show you, the needle minder is this adorable little ghost. Let me get a little bit closer. He's so cute, and he's glow in the dark. For those times you're stitching in the dark. He's so cute. I love him. He does not come in the kit, but when you order the kit, you can add him on. I do have a coupon code to get 10% off of your kit purchase. I believe my coupon code is still active. So my code is Witchy10 Sarah. I'll put that below. You don't have to try to remember that. And you can use that code to get 10% off of your kit purchase, but don't forget to add on your ghost needle minder and join me in stitching this. It is too cute. It's getting me into the Halloween spirit of stitching. Okay. So those are my new starts. The rest of these are my whips, my works in progress, things that I've started previously and I've shown you previously, so you'll get to see some progress that I've made. The first thing that I have is my Teresa Kogut, Wherever There Are Birds. This came out at market this year. I just love that giant black bird. I brought him on vacation with me because I was filling in the bird and he was very easy to work on the plane. So I did get the bird finished. Let me clip him to my board here. So now I can move on to some other parts of the design. He's done. Look at him. He's so cute. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Grandpa sleeve by X2 Design. One of my favorite fabrics, if not my favorite fabric ever. I love it. I love the way it looks. I am a big fan of X2 Design fabric. I love the way it feels. I love stitching on it. I love everything about it. So there's my bird. It says, wherever there are birds, there is hope. And yeah, so I've got the big part of it done. Now I just need to go stitch the grass and these two like berry baskets and then some little birds and trees. So I do still have a bit of stitching, but I got the big bird done, so that feels good. God, that feels good. It's nice to have some projects where you only have fill-in to do for those times, where it's not always easy to have out like, a chart and all the things. So I was able to just pull it out and work on the fill-in. And I am using all the called for floss, stitching 1 over 2. And I'm keeping this in my cross stitch case from Winding Rainbows, Chris Sherman. I love this one so much. It's got strawberries on the inside. So cute. Next, I showed this on my video with Sarah the other day. This is Botanical Study number 1. So this was a stitch along that she was hosting with her friend Ashley from Paper Crane Yarns. I believe they've both finished. I know Sarah finished hers, and I believe Ashley finished hers as well. This was a market release. It's these beautiful flowers and leaves on this dark fabric. I am stitching mine on 36 count dusk by Picture This Plus, and I am using all the called for weeks dye works. And this is my progress. I don't have any more progress since when I showed it with Sarah the other day. So if you saw that already, this hasn't changed at all. But I have gotten more done on it since I showed it here on my regular update since the last time. So I've added in all of these little tiny flowers here, and I finished the stem, and I've been working on this little flower over here. So I cannot wait to get down to the bottom to these like big blue leaves. They're so pretty. So that's my progress on that. As I mentioned before, that one is a little harder for me to stitch on. I am struggling with the darker fabric. So it's one that I only stitch on like if I'm sitting near a window and it's daytime. So it doesn't get as much love, unfortunately, but I would like to get that finished reasonably soon. And I'm keeping this in my project folder that I got when I went to the Steel City Stitchers retreat. This was made by a lovely maker named Thomasina. She is on Instagram as paws, like dog paws, 2, the number 2, stitch. And this is just fantastic. I bought one for Sarah W too, and we both kept our botanical studies in here because same colors is perfect. Okay, next I have Anne Hughs, 1852 by Quaint Rose Needle Art. And this is the chart that Sarah, handmade by Sarah W, chose for her birthday start. Her birthday was July 1st, so we started this on her birthday. And I believe this came out at market too, if I'm not mistaken. It is just phenomenal. I love it so much. And a lot of people have joined in on her birthday sale. And you can still join in. It's just, there's no schedule. There's, you know, no time that you have to be done within. It's more of a start along, and we all just work at our own pace. So here's mine. Sarah and I are both stitching this on Old Stationery by Seraphim Fabrics. And we are both using all of the called for floss. So it calls for a mix of like classic colorworks, gentle art, and there's also one cottage garden thread, which is this. Look at that. That is going to be the vases on either side of the house. I cannot wait to stitch that part. So as you can see, I have come down here to the house. The last time I showed it to you, I believe all I had done was this little flower plant. And so I came down and I worked on outlining the house. And now I'm getting started on doing the mortar for the bricks. I love the red bricks, so I can't wait to get started on that. And I really, really am excited to use that blue that's on the birds there. That blue is the most beautiful color. It is Gentle Arts Black Raspberry Jam. Look at that. I can't wait to use that color. So that's Sarah's birthday, Sal. If you are stitching it with us, you can use the hashtags Anne Hughs. I think it's Anne Hughs B-Day Sal, or you could do Sarah's B-Day Sal. And I'll put the hashtags below. But Sarah, you picked a good one. I love it. I cannot wait to stitch some more on this. It's phenomenal. Oh, and I forgot to tell you too, because the Botanical Study is a stitch along, you could use the hashtag Botanical Study Sal. I believe that's the hashtag. And again, I'll put all hashtags below, but I forgot to mention that. So I figured I would go back and do that. I am keeping Anne Hughs in this beautiful patchwork project bag from my friend Michelle from Michelle Lee Quilts. She's on Etsy. I actually got to stitch with her the other day. She's local to me. And so my friend Allison, AllieCat13, she and I and Allison's mom met up with Michelle at Panera the other day for a stitch day. So that was kind of fun. Okay, next I have Eliza Poole Sampler by Stacy Nash Primitives. I recently picked this up when I was at Craft Gallery. I had never seen it before, and I just fell in love with it. I love that boat. I love the little girl in her pink dress. I love the little picket fence. I just had to have it. So I went ahead and just got some fabric for it while I was at Craft Gallery. And I'm stitching mine on 40 count Winter Wren by Fox and Rabbit. I love it. I did do a partial conversion. I think I've converted a little more than half of the colors to Roxy Floss colors. I do have a pretty substantial Roxy Floss collection stash, and so I wanted to change some of the colors to make them a little more vibrant, make them show up a little bit better. And so I think it's working so far. It's kind of a work in progress. So since you've seen it last, I finished filling in this house. I had started the fill-in the last time you'd seen it, and I stitched this little girl. She's so cute. Her shoes are supposed to be brown, but I wanted her to have red shoes. So she's wearing her little red shoes. She's got her little flower there. She's so pretty. And that's where I'm at. I love this stitch too. I'm just having a lot of fun with this. I brought this yesterday. Got to hang out with Allison again yesterday at, we had a stitch day at a local brewery. It's hosted by a local crafter named the Savage Stitcher. She hosts a monthly like craft stitchy day at this bar, and so we all just get together, and people are like, some people are stitching, some people are embroidering, some people are knitting. I saw someone collaging. It's just a really fun, chill day to hang out with crafty people. So I loved it. I brought my Eliza Poole. And I am keeping it. Now, usually I like to pick project bags that kind of reflect the project or, you know, the vibe or whatever. But the project bag I have this in doesn't match the vibe at all, but I picked it because I love this project bag. I love Eliza Poole Sampler. It's like one of my favorite things I'm stitching right now, so I had to put it in like one of my favorite bags. This one was a birthday gift from my mom from Paint to Leaf Co. And it's in some Tula pink fabric that I had picked out with dogs on it because I love dogs. Thanks, Mom. Okay, next. So I pulled this one out. You haven't seen this one in a while. This is the Salem Sisters Apothecary by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I started this in 2022, I believe. Yeah, it had to be 2022 because that's when the pattern came out. And I have the finishing board. And so I was like, I need to finish this. So this is going to be my second 24 and 24 finish for the month of July. So I pulled it out. And I have been working a little bit on it. Here is where I'm at. So I'm stitching this on, hold on, let me move it up a little bit. Let me just clip it to the board so it doesn't fall. I'm stitching this on 32 count, what is this? Butter Crunch by Needle Bling Design. You can see it's like a real buttery, yellowy fabric. I love it. You can see there's a little bit of modeling in here. And I'm just stitching this with 2 strands of 310 over 2 threads. So that's my progress got all the words done. I've got that cauldron done and some of the stuff coming out of it. So now I'm working over here on the potion bottles, or actually I guess I'm working over here. But yeah, I don't anticipate that this is going to take me too much longer. I do like that it's all just one color, so I don't need to be switching colors. So I don't think this will take me too long. I would like to have it done within the next couple of days before August starts. So yeah, then I will be up to date, caught up with my 24 and 24 goal, and get that fully finished on this board, because I've had that board sitting in my closet for quite a while now, so it needs to be used. Okay, and I'm keeping that in this beautiful Teresa Kogut Halloween bag that I got from As the Yo Flies on Etsy. All right, got 2 more. Okay, next I have Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. This is one that Sarah W. and I are both stitching. It was one that I had as a whip for a while, and she decided she wanted to start it, so it prompted me to get mine out and work on it, which I love. Such a beautiful design. I am using all of the called for colors, with the exception of the gray. I've talked about that before. The gray that was called for was not showing up on my fabric. So let me show you my progress. I love this one so much. So I'm stitching this on 46 count pewter by Color and Cotton, and I love it. So I have been working down here on this little house. I outlined the roof and the house, and now I'm kind of going in and filling in the roof and putting in some windows and the door. Also, since you've seen it last, I have done a little bit of the fill-in on this vase, but not a whole lot. So still a lot to go on this, but at least I'm keeping up some progress, some momentum on it. Yeah, you can see I have a lot more to go. I love this bird over here. I can't wait to stitch the bird. So yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to stitch this bottom section with the alphabet. I don't know. I think it's really going to depend on the dimensions of this and what's going to be easier to frame. Is it going to be easier to frame if I just do this, or will I need that extra length to make it easy to frame? So I'll have to measure it and see what the dimensions are. What do you guys think? With or without the alphabet? I'll have to ask Sarah. I haven't asked Sarah what she's going to do. All right. And then, oh, I forgot to show you the bag. Hold on. So I'm keeping this in another Michelle Lee Quilts bag, another patchwork bag. Such pretty colors. Beautiful. And then the last whip that I have for you is my 3 Things Sampler by Moira Blackburn. It's so beautiful. So I've chosen this as like my next focus piece. Earlier this year, I focused on Let Love Rain, and I was able to finish that. And then I focused on Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower, and I was able to finish that. So like, this is kind of my new focus piece. It's going to take me a lot longer to finish this one because I have less done and it's bigger. But I like that I'm keeping up some progress, some momentum going so that I'm always moving forward. And this is what I have. So let me tell you the details. I'm stitching this on 46 count Rocky Mountain by Extra Design. And I'm stitching it using the DMC conversion. So all of those flosses are DMC. And I just think it looks beautiful. So this part right here was a whole page finish. I was going to move over and do another whole page finish, but I really wanted to see what the width of the piece was going to be. So I went ahead and brought it on over, and that way I could see, like, yeah, I've got plenty of margins here. This is going to fit nicely on this piece of fabric. I do have it folded, so it will be longer, but I think it looks so good so far. I'm going to work on this tonight. I do try to focus on this on Mondays. So today's Monday, so I'm going to work on this for the rest of the day. And yeah, just keep trying to make some progress on this so I can keep showing you where it's at and how it's going. I cannot wait to get this finished at some point and hanging on my wall. This is fantastic. So like Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut was my first, what I call my first heirloom piece, like the first piece that I'm just like so proud of. My first piece that I want it to stay in my family for generations. My son has already claimed Let Love Rain. He says, okay, you know, one day when you're not here anymore, I'm taking that. It's going in my house. I'm going to pass it down to my children. You know, hopefully he's not just saying that to appease me. But this is going to be another heirloom piece. So one of my daughters will get this one. I love it so much. Is that kind of morbid that I'm talking about? Like I haven't even finished stitching this and I'm already talking about who's going to get it when I pass away. Sorry if that was morbid. It's just like, it's just so special though. I want to make sure it's going to be around for a while. You know what I mean? Do you guys think about those things, or is that just weird? I can be a little strange sometimes, so, you know. Anyway, and I'm keeping that project in this lovely bag that was gifted to me by my friend Michelle, who is a phenomenal quilter, and she made this beautiful project bag for me, and I just knew I needed a special bag for my special project. Thank you, Michelle. Has this fun like polka dots inside. I love it. So that's where my three things sampler lives. So that was all the stitching I've got. Before I go, I did want to show you a couple, I guess this would be haul. Technically, not really. We'll call it Stitchy Kindness because these were gifted to me by my mom and my sister. So I've already mentioned that my mom is a project bag maker, and these bags she had recently put in her shop. There might be a couple left, so you might want to run over and grab them, but look at this. Look how beautiful this is. She sent me a picture of this fabric and I was like, I'm going to need one of those. Look at these beautiful, beautiful, colorful birds. Look at this. I love them so much. So as I mentioned, my mom is a project bag maker. Her shop is Painted Leaf Co. She's on Etsy. I will link her down below. Her bags are gorgeous. I love the inside fabric for this. Brace yourself. Look at that. That looks like sprinkles. Like sprinkles on an ice cream cone. Or like confetti. Confetti. That's what it is. Like it goes perfectly. Beautiful. I love looking at the inside fabric of project bags. It's like a surprise, you know, like a bonus surprise. Like you already see how beautiful the outside is. And then you look inside, you're like, wow. And even more special is this little tiny bird charm. Isn't he cute? So cute. I don't even know how she finds these cute charms to go with her bags, but it's a talent. So Painted Leaf Co. Go follow her on Instagram. Go check out her shop. And then this will get you in the fall spirit. Pumpkin Spice. Now this came from my sister. She also has an Etsy shop. Apparently the project bag making talent it skipped me. My sister got it all. My mom and my sister got it all. So anyway, my sister made this project bag and gave this to me. This is Pumpkin Spice. I don't know if that's what she called it, but that's what I'm calling it. Because it's got all things pumpkin and fall, and I am ready. for a pumpkin spice latte. I am one of those girls. I need a pumpkin spice latte immediately. So yeah, that'll get you in the fall spirit. I love the little lace trim here. And on the inside, you've got the little brown and white X's for the cross stitching. Beautiful. Thank you. My sister's name is Megan, and her shop is called Pepper Pot Shop. Isn't that cute? I love her little logo. So cute. And hold on. She just put some new bags in her shop with the Bigfoot fabric. But the background is green and not blue, and it's fantastic. And her accent fabric is like this, like wood grain. It's perfect. I'm gonna probably need one of those too. So, I love it so much. So yeah, make sure you follow Painted Leaf Co. You follow Pepper Pot Shop on Instagram and Etsy. That way you can snatch up their beautiful bags, because we all need beautiful bags for our beautiful projects, right? Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. I showed you my finishes. I showed you my new starts. I showed you my whips. I showed you all the things. I've been busy. You know, I'll be going back to school soon, so don't expect this much content coming up here soon. I do stitch every single day. It's just when I'm stitching during the school year, there's a lot less time. So, but I will keep stitching. I will keep popping on here and showing you what I'm working on. And yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I know your time is precious, so I always appreciate when you come and spend time with me. And if you're new here, I hope you liked what you saw today. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and liking my video, leaving me a comment. The comments just mean everything, especially when they're nice. Oh, I gotta tell you about a comment that someone left on the video that Sarah and I did. They left it on Sarah's channel, and they had said, I forget what the viewer's name was, but she had said, you know, I watched the two of you separately. This was my first time watching a video of the two of you together, and it was even better seeing the two of you together. She's like, the two of you together are like double stuffed Oreos. I love double stuffed Oreos, so that was like the biggest compliment ever. So, you know, a nice, kind comment can really make somebody's day. So, so yeah, if you're feeling kind, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you guys. Anyway, oh, and make sure you follow me on Instagram too. At Stitchy Sarah Reads is my Instagram, and I will put all the information of all the things below in my description box. But if I forgot something, feel free to leave me a comment to gently remind me that I forgot to include something important, and I'll make sure I get that information to you. Okay, I think that's it. So I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I hope you're getting some stitching in, and I will be talking to you again soon. Bye, guys.